Coach Holscher, right off of a huge tournament win here in Ohio at the Alliance Top Gun. You guys put this on the schedule last year. You take one out-of-state trip a year. You missed your out-of-state trip last year.
Yeah.
You had some weather with the Powerade, but
right.
You get to come here and you get to get some new meat out of the Central Valley and here in Ohio. But I looked at my app on my phone, my weather app. It was 72 degrees and sunny today in Fresno. What was this weather change like for you guys?
It was fun. Believe it or not, the kids actually look forward to it. There were some of them, it's the first time they made a snowball Thursday night. So it sounds weird to anybody that doesn't live in California, but they like it, and I like it. It's a nice treat. I'm originally from Nebraska, so it reminds me of home. But no, the weather, hopefully we try and make them tougher in a couple days with your weather.
That's good. You guys really gutted out. This was a gut check. You know, you and Massillon Prairie were trading the lead back and forth. You end up with 11 placers. They get 9. They get more champs than you, more finalists. But you guys have, you know, you showed the depth of California, I think, and of Clovis and what you guys do. But when you look at how you guys persevered, got through it, and won the tournament title, how do you apply that to winning your 4th CIF title this year in California?
The out-of-state trip's a big thing, just because you have to be tough out here. I mean, it was like the NCAAs. I mean, there's kids in the finals taking blood time because they're bleeding, not maybe from the match, but because they have a cut on their nose, their forehead, their lip from the quarters, the semis, the whatever, bruises, and it was a gut check. And I was actually encouraged for one of the first times that our kids top to bottom wrestled tough. And it's something we've been trying to get them to do. And we always try and use our out-of-state trip as a springboard, because when you come out here, you might be beating a guy, but they're going to come back and they're going to try and punch you square in the mouth. And maybe they physically might punch you. And our guys got to get used to that, and they got to up their intensity. And nothing against California, they're awesome, but instead of as much, it's just tougher wrestling out here, more physical. Not that they do a bad job in California. California's unreal, but just the mental test and the mental test of the travel, the cold weather. I mean, we got in 8:30, 9 o'clock into this gym on Thursday night to work out after they'd been traveling since 6:30 in the morning. So I think it just shows the kids that they can do a lot more than they think they can do. And
the jet lag. Talk about the jet lag, because Coach Tarapelli said, you know, the weather wasn't the biggest thing. He said the jet lag was difficult. Can you talk about that?
I don't know if there's jet lag for people under 18. You know, it's kind of like some of them can eat a hamburger and it doesn't faze them and wrestle an hour later. I think we were starting to see a little bit of it today. There was a little bit of it maybe late last night, but we tell the kids about this trip back in April, May. So I think adrenaline kind of kicked in, but I know as us coaches we felt it a little bit. But the kids, it's just toughness. They persevered and they got it on and they did well.
What's that like, wrestling the referees and a really tough Ohio kid or a really tough Pennsylvania kid? Because I see it, you know, I go all around the world, I see wrestling. I can see that our officiating's different. We officiate Ohio kids different. And that's an observation, you know what I mean, that I'm making. How hard is that, and what does that do for the guys?
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. That's what we try and teach. Doesn't matter. You know, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter about the jet lag. Doesn't matter about the cold weather. Doesn't matter that, you know, they do weigh-ins a little different out here. It doesn't matter what the referee does. What matters is you put yourself in a position to score, and you score it, you know, dominantly and decisively and quick and hard. And it doesn't matter. I mean, as us coaches, after the first couple rounds, we saw a couple things different. We talked to our kids about it. We tried to make adjustments as best we could. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. If you wrestle hard-nosed, you wrestle 6, 7, 8 minutes, whatever it takes, you know, you win. And that's what we try and coach and teach. And, you know, this tournament, the kids bought in, so hopefully they keep buying in the next 2 months.
Does anything need to change? Is there anything that was a glaring, like, weakness that you guys have from now until to winning, you know, getting into tournament series?
Each individual has some things. You know, now it's the part of the year where, you know, you're polishing up. I don't know if we're necessarily going to go back and say, hey, we got beat in this one area, everybody got beat. But everybody grew a lot, and there's some learning curves that need to go on, and some people were challenged. People stepped up to the challenge, but again, it doesn't matter now anymore. We're on to the next week. if they don't use what they did. And there was some definite frying pan upside the head learning opportunities for some of our guys, and most of them responded today. You know, it's one of those things, looking back, there's 5-6 matches right on the top of my head that if we would have fixed those problems while they were going, you know, we wouldn't have been sweating bullets if we were going to win or lose. So the kids have stuff to work on, and us as coaches need to get them in those areas. So nothing really as a team. As a team, just get tougher and take this toughness home. So
being the co-head coach with Steve, you know, Terrapelli, you guys share a lot of duties. You got the Terrapellis underneath you, and you got great resources with those guys. Do you feel a lot of pressure going for the 4th title this year? It's unprecedented. It's never happened in the state of California. No team has won 4 titles in a row in the CIF state tournament. Do you feel the pressure? Do the Terrapellis put any pressure on you? You know, you got a big job. Do you feel any pressure?
No. I mean, I guess if I'm human, there's some. But at the end of the day, what's more important to me is each of these guys reaching their individual goal. You know, last year I was mad that a couple of our guys are one of our kids, he's in college now, he didn't win a state title last year, and I was just sick belly. And once I saw him smiling that the team won, you know, I was better. And at the end of the day, pressure is creating athletes that are going to be champions in life. That's pressure. Pressure is that not only do they win, that in a few years they're going to be good young men, give back to the sport, do things. I mean, I think the state title will take care of itself if the individuals do their things. And Terrapellis, I mean, heck, they're like my California family, and I use them as resources, and they use me as a resource. And together, me, Adam, and Steve, I mean, we're able to do very unique things because we basically have 3 head coaches rocking it. And sometimes we fight, and sometimes Steve and I have our things, but we all come together for the common goal, and that's just to get kids better. And I think the pressure is, if any big name coach, the pressure is getting them to achieve their goal. The pressure is getting them to do the right things in the room and outside of the room, and trophies come and go. So that's my focus, and that's what we try and teach. That's what Steve try and teach. The rest of our staff tries to teach. That's a long, rambling answer to your question, but I look to the state title with excitement. Everything else, that's a lot bigger deal. So keeping them up at night keeps me up at night, making sure they're doing the right things.
That's the answer I'm looking for, man.
So it's, I don't know. They're good kids. They're good kids, and I'll be a hell of a lot more proud, excuse my language, that maybe they're a coach one day. Maybe they're just a good kid. Maybe they created a tournament. Maybe they turned that leaf over. They're the next creative thinker for wrestling. You know, who cares if they're just a state champ? Who cares if we're only a state championship team? Look at some of those programs that they just produce champions. Then why are they champions in a few years? Adam and Steve don't want that. We don't want that. So there you go.
Hey, congratulations on the title. Safe travels back, all right?
Thank you, brother. Thanks for all